Good evening, everyone. I'm Lynn Cannon. Thanks for joining us. We'll have much more on those stories coming up in a moment. But first, we have got to talk about this weather. That is hail that hit Huntsville, north of Houston, just about an hour ago. Catherine Merlett sharing this crazy video with us from a popular wedding venue called The Shire. Also, check out some hail we saw on the west side today. This was in Katy this afternoon. We're told some stones were about ½ an inch in size, and that hailstorm lasting about 10 minutes. We have had thunderstorm warnings all over the area this afternoon. Blake Matthews is tracking the rain. What are you seeing, Blake?
Well, things coming down here locally in the city of Houston, but still have a couple of active warnings as we get into our suburbs. So let's start off here. First off, looks like we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning out there across eastern portions of Montgomery County and northern portions of Liberty County. The big storm that we're continuing to monitor is this one across southern Liberty County, a prolific hail producer continuing to push towards the Devers area. So those of you out there in eastern portions of Liberty County, heads up, that storm headed your direction. Another severe thunderstorm warning in effect again, this near the east side of Montgomery County, pushing into southern San Jacinto County and northern Liberty County. This does include the town of Liberty. Heads up, you see that bright magenta color there. That is a hail core that's going to be pushing in your direction. So you have about 10 or 15 minutes to get that car in a garage or under a carport before it moves through your town. All right, here's a look at some of the rainfall totals. 1 to 3 inches have been pretty common. This is a look at the hail tracks. You see a big storm moving there across Lake Conroe, one there from Katy out towards the Cypress area, and then this is what we're tracking here across southern Liberty County. We are in for another round of storms as we get into tomorrow, and another tornado outbreak across hard-hit portions of Mississippi and Alabama. We'll detail it all coming up in your full forecast.
All right, we'll see you a little bit later. Blake, thanks for the update. Remember, track the storms anytime with our KHU 11 weather app. You can sign up for alerts and check out live radars right in your neighborhood. All right, talk about standing for Houston. A massive food giveaway is happening right now at NRG Park, and our David Gonzalez is there.
Cars started lining up early hours ago here outside of NRG Stadium for this food distribution site that was supposed to open at 4 o'clock, but because the demand was so large, they got started early. The site is expected to hand out 3,000 bags of food in just 3 hours. That's about 90,000 pounds of food. HISD says their food distribution sites during the week have served hundreds of families in need. The one today was created to help those who aren't able to visit during the week.
At the end of the day, like I said, we're feeding our community. Our focus, of course, is the children and families of HISD. But if we're helping someone that is in need, then we're still doing our job. Because we never know if that child or that family, they'll become members of our community.
As you can see, volunteers did their best to practice social distancing by minimizing contact with families by putting the bags of food in the trunk of cars. This food distribution site is set to stay open until 7 o'clock or until food runs out. Back to you.
All right, David, thanks. A reminder, if you're heading to a Houston City Park this weekend, you will not be able to drive and park in the parking lots. The lots will be closed to prevent overcrowding. The parks will be open, just you'll have to walk or ride your bike to get there. Parking lots, by the way, reopen on Monday. State parks will reopen on Monday as part of Governor Abbott's plan to gradually reopen the state. Visitors will have to cover their faces, practice social distancing, and limit groups to 5 people or fewer. On Wednesday, April 22nd, the governor will loosen restrictions on surgeries, those non-essential medical procedures that had been postponed. Then on Friday, April 24th, retailers will be able to offer to-go products for customers to pick up at stores or have it delivered. As for places like restaurants and movie theaters, the governor says he will have more updates as soon as April 27th. The other big announcement, of course, all Texas schools, public and private, will remain closed until the end of the school year, but students will continue taking classes online. The Texas Education Agency will work with districts on a plan for graduations. Getting businesses up and running again depends entirely on seeing a steady decrease in the spread of this virus. So here's a look at the numbers across our area. The city of Houston announcing today 121 more people having tested positive, but thankfully today we have no report of any deaths. There are more than 60 5,600 cases now across the entire Houston area. Harris County has closed all its testing sites for the rest of the day. That's because of the rough weather. But earlier today, Mayor Sylvester Turner visited a site at Del Mar Stadium on the northwest side. He says he's encouraged that testing sites are reaching capacity, but says the sooner we get more test sites up and running, the sooner we can figure out how to best reopen the city.
So it's the testing that gives you that added sight, so to speak, and then it will then drive your policies and determine how quickly you need to reopen. Because we all want to reopen. I agree with the governor. You know, we want to reopen this economy. We want to get things going again. And I think for me, from my vantage point, the precursor to achieving that objective is robust, widespread, ubiquitous testing.
All right, let's talk money now. We know so many of you are relying on those government stimulus checks, but we keep hearing from a lot of folks who are still waiting on their money. So let's look at the top 3 questions we are getting from so many of you. Coming up, first of all, what happens if the money ends up going into the wrong account or to an account that does not exist? If it's an account that's been closed, the IRS says the bank will reject the check and the money will be sent back to the IRS, and they will send it to you in the mail to the most recent address they have on file. Number 2, if you normally get your tax refund on a prepaid debit card like H&R Block's Emerald card, here's what you need to know. If you no longer have that card, they say they will reissue a card. You can also get a replacement card from TurboTax in 8 to 10 days. Replacement fees will be waived. Number 3, if you had a child recently and haven't been able to claim them, here's what a tax expert is telling us. If you do not get all the money you qualify for, when you file for your 2020 taxes, you should be able to get that $500 later. We know you have a lot more questions, folks, so text the word MONEY to 713-526-1111. We'll send you answers to other frequently asked questions, as well as how you can check the status of your stimulus check. Well, it is no secret that everything you see on social media is not true. So are the social media giants doing anything to crack down? Evan Kozlov is verifying tonight.
The Verify team has been busy fact-checking claims that are spreading online. But in a world where we're constantly plugged in and news changes by the hour, there's just no denying it. We're all more susceptible to sharing bad info. So we're verifying. Are social media platforms cracking down on the spread of misinformation? The answer is yes. These tech giants put out a joint statement that they are working closely to combat, quote, fraud and misinformation about the virus. On Facebook, you're going to find educational pop-ups at the top of your news feed. They're also deleting fake information about things like cures or treatments. And you may have seen these warning labels added to any meme or conspiracy theory that's been debunked by a third-party fact checker. Then there's Twitter. You may have to take a tweet down if it goes against official health guidance or if it endorses a dangerous treatment. For example, your tweet might be taken down if you discourage social distancing or say that drinking bleach will cure the disease. And it's not just Facebook and Twitter. YouTube is removing videos, Reddit is offering Q&A sessions with medical experts. Across the board, companies are just stepping up. So we can verify. Social media platforms are actively trying to dispel misinformation about COVID-19. With your Verify, this is Evan Kozlov.
Be sure to send your Verify questions to verify@khou.com. You can also reach us on Facebook or Twitter.